before Jesus, I was a man just going through the motions. Didn't really have a sense of purpose. Just I never did anything out of line, never crazy or anything like that. But it was, I didn't, I would say I didn't know what this was all about. How I come to know Jesus was working trim carpenter. So I get around in and out of houses, and I met a couple by Don and Erica Hunter, and they it was one of the first times where I'd really actually connected with a homeowner on a personal level. Both my wife and Erica were both pregnant at the same time, about 2 months apart. So we kept that relationship, checking in on each other, not knowing at the time that Don was just going through his own challenges mentally, but he still took the time to talk to me, and he introduced me into the Movement family. I think the light bulb that went off for me in the moment to when I knew that I could rely on Jesus was in March, not only with this COVID, but with us dealing personally with a miscarriage of what would have been our third child. That was a moment where I was personally affected, like it hurt. The pain was nothing that I had felt before. And just within the hours of texting people and feeling the power of the prayer, that was when it was like, hey, this is it. Like, I know Jesus is there for me. He's gonna help me get through this moment. And I'm glad to say that, since then we are able to say that we're expecting again with another child, and just to have that assurance that he was the strength behind that. Like, it allowed me to get through that moment, because up to that point in my life I really hadn't had any of those moments where I just broke down and was crying, and as a guy that doesn't show much emotion, I showed it there, and but I could just feel that power of prayer and the power of Jesus help me get through that moment. The reason why we would be baptized is just to be an example to all those kids that we used to get to teach in class. We have a really good relationship with a lot of 3rd through 5th graders, and to be an example for them, and it also talks about in the Bible being obedient, and baptism is one of the things that you need to go through. It says in there that you'll be baptized, and then we'll all become disciples, and that's the goal, is to make more disciples. So I hope to give those kids a relationship with Jesus that I didn't have growing up, and trying to make an impact in their lives. I know just about a year ago, when it was said that Summit was splitting into two, that Jim was like, you have 26 days, maybe 25, to make an impact on these kids' lives. And that was something I strived from that moment. And now I still keep in touch with the kids, and I check in on them, even though I haven't been able to see them in this crazy time of COVID, and it's been tough. I understand what it's like for teachers now, like when they didn't get to say goodbye to their students, and that's been tough, not getting to see those guys. So I'm ready to make this next step in baptism and continue the journey, getting closer to God.
Because you believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the God who died for you and saved you from your sins, and you're making him the Lord of your life, shepherding your family. It's my privilege, my friend, grab that nose, to baptize you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah!